To Atalanta 2, Cristiano Ronaldo 2. Wow, what an ending to the game this was. It looked like Atalanta were going to take all 3 points, but Ronaldo with a brilliant finish in injury time, giving United a crucial draw. Significant indeed when it comes to the group standings, because let's take a look at how things look now in Group F. United level on points with Villarreal, who beat Young Boys today by 2-0. You can see if Atalanta had won that game, then pressure very much on United going into week 5 against Villarreal. That off a little bit now. Where should we start, boys? We've got to start, haven't we? With Cristiano Ronaldo. Gab Marcotti joins us. We'll go to Gab in a moment. But look, we'll talk about United and everything that led up to the Ronaldo's winner, equaliser, but goodness me.
Well, there was 2 sublime bits of play from United in the game. One was an instantaneous shot that got the point. Fantastic finish. And the first one was the goal in the first half from Man United, which was a fantastic bit of play. But sandwiched in between was the mediocrity that we've come to know from this Man United side. I mean, you know, Atalanta should have won the game. Atalanta were comfortable. United, there's always an air of desperation. It's like, turn to the bench, right, just throw on the cavalry, let's make some changes. And fair play, you know, that's what managers have to do, but it's not, you know, he's having to do it too often. That's my point. And they are so reliant on Cristiano Ronaldo. His goals have been so important for them, not just scoring goals in, like, you know, games that are already won, just important goals. And trust me, Solskjaer, as we know, is hanging by a thread, I think, and this guy's keeping him up just above the waterline at the moment.
There was an inevitability almost about the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo would be the man who would get the equaliser. I think I'm right in saying this was United's first shot on target in the second half, and it falls to Ronaldo.
But it kind of felt that way, especially probably last 20 minutes of the game as Atalanta started to drop deeper and deeper. You just felt that goal was coming. And in all honesty, we've been predicting this for almost weeks, that United's games and results feel so much bigger than the performances are. As much as Ronaldo scores late on and you take a point and you go top of the Champions League group, Craig's right, it was not a great performance. But if you're a United fan or if you're sitting in that dressing room, it feels so much different. It feels like this is a team that has the mojo.
Do you think it feels different, though? Or do you think there's got to be a reality within that dressing room, within that team, that thinks, how can we keep getting away with it?
So much about this game reminded me of the reverse fixture, albeit at Old Trafford, and it was 3 points to Manchester United. But it was that late rally. It was that kind of frantic finish, as Craig described it, just throwing everybody on and seeing what sticks. And all of a sudden, cometh the moment, cometh the man, Ronaldo again bails you out, and it feels different. I think the difference with that first game against Atalanta at home is you followed it up with that performance against Spurs, where you change the formation, things look a whole lot better, things start feeling a whole lot better, but then you see that this time around, same formation, yes, you picked up some injuries, but it has that same kind of frantic, we're not quite sure what we're doing feel. And with big games to come, I'm not sure that bodes well for the league game to come this time around.
It can't keep going. They are, I know, we're just going to go just before we go to Gab, they are what I would call a getting away with it team.
Sure.
They got away with it against Villarreal. They didn't get away with it in Switzerland against Young Boys. They got a man sent off, but didn't play well. They lost. They got away with it against Villarreal at home. They were outplayed and should have been beaten. They got away with it against Atalanta at home, in a sense. I didn't actually see that game, but I heard it wasn't great. And they've got away with this to a certain extent. And you know, there is something to applaud about that, but it's not got any longevity.
And again, when you take a look at these fixtures, Craig.
Yeah, but listen, if you said to me Man United were going to beat Man City at the weekend, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
Because I think there's that air of desperation where they'll just camp in against City, and it's been successful for them before, hitting on the counter-attack. The question is whether City liven up at the weekend to the tactics that United are going to play. That's what they're going to do. They can't outplay City. They haven't got as good a players as City, although they've got a very good squad, and they haven't got as good a manager. So they'll camp in and look to hit on the counter. and they might get away with it. But in terms of longevity, no, they have none.
I have to admit, I'll be very surprised if this United beats Manchester City. And it's not a great Manchester City, and we've been seeing that. But I just feel that tactically, this United team just is all over the place and is there to be picked off by a manager who knows what they're doing. And nobody could accuse Pep Guardiola of not being that.
Atalanta be scratching their heads once again, Gab, and wondering how they didn't win this game.
They will. They had so many chances. They had so many opportunities. Between the two, it's not even funny. And they're going to point out, too, and I think, rightly so, as we come in the conversation, but they also had 3 important starters missing, both wing backs, a guy like Piscina. It doesn't matter. You know why? It doesn't matter, though, that some of your starters are missing, because you have a real coach. You have a person with an idea of football. You have a person with patterns of play who goes out there. And so that, it's next man up. The guy comes in and he executes, and you get it done, and you create chances, which is basically the opposite of the team that they drew with tonight, where you have a whole bunch of very talented players, and then you start with one formation, then Varane gets injured, and you move to 4, and then, to me, my favorite bit was sort of 2 minutes for time or whatever when he sends on Sancho and Donny van de Beek, right? The 2 guys he never plays, and who cost an absolute bundle. So I think that's a difference. It shows you that coaching does matter, and having a coach who's competent and knows what he's doing, then yeah, it doesn't matter if some of your starters are out.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.